Get mad at me for dating outside my race. But I was dating outside of my race because they was doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Define better.
Well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know. You said they were doing things better. I want to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the people,
for the culture. Not better. For the culture.
There we go.
Right. Not better.
Son.
I was dating Puerto Rican, I was dating Dominican, I was dating African, I was dating all type of other races besides American black, right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable with...
Give me some examples.
Oh, man. I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my Indian one was from...
Jersey?
One of them countries over there, right?
Sri Lanka?
I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Rue Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household. Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags, sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking. If you're going to go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're going to get that. If you're going to meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're going to find it out a lot earlier on that what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she requires. You know, and I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media again is the barometer. Okay, and it's the comparison, and when you're comparing yourself to all these other women, and of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, that's fine, but I mean...
What's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
And there's no shade to women that have them. I'm just saying.
I was wondering, I was waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me?
And there's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She gonna run them pockets.
Yeah. And he wasn't speaking about race. He was speaking about ethnicity. Culture and ethnicity. Because he's basically saying that if he dates, a Caribbean black girl, an African black girl, a Cuban, they differ from dating African Americans. That's not a matter of race. There are cultural implications and ethnicity implications.
Shit, you didn't. Show is over.
Shit.
Let's go.
See, if you let the last part play, then she actually rebuts what he's saying, and she's like, "Well, if you want a BBL and a snatch waist and all this other stuff, then you know what you're getting into." So I didn't hear that part when I first walked out.
And then he has the audacity. He
wasn't talking about that though, and I think that's why they're all idiots that responded with that. What he was essentially when they were responding and dwelling on the fact of BBLs and whatnot, what he was actually saying is that there was a difference in the behavior or the treatments that he was receiving, not the look, not the mindset or ideology about who is about money. Obviously, there's money that's going to be important to every single ethnic background woman. His main thing that he was speaking on was the behavioral factors and the treatment that he was getting from the other ethnic groups, excluding or in comparison to the African American women. That's what he was saying. So I think that when you've dated all of them, and you have experience with all of them, and I say all of them as women with those different ethnic backgrounds, you can compare it.
Right.
And there's always a comparison to be had, right? So with Italian women, it's going to be different from a Colombian woman. Mm-hmm. With those two, is going to be different from an African, a woman from Africa or maybe first born from Africa, right? And then ultimately they'll all be different from a woman who is born or is native here or has a native background to here, America, for those of you that are watching elsewhere. And then you can actually be able to see the difference in that treatment. And I agree with them because I saw it. And I feel like, I mean, nowadays, I feel like it's more, it's now spread across all of them a lot more than when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. So if I say 15 to 20 years ago, you know, white women were predominantly acting white and Spanish women were predominantly acting Spanish. Now you see all of them acting what we don't want, which is that ratchetness, which typically at first was displayed from a black woman, right? Now you kind of can see it in Dominican music. You can see it in, you know, rappers. It doesn't matter who it is. But in the very beginning, if I'm going back 15, 20 years ago, you know, that's where we would see it. And so, well, like my high school, which I was saying earlier, my high school is very diverse. Mm-hmm. I would go like 30% black, 30% white, and 40% mixed between the last, you know, 4 or 5 bigger groups in America. And you would see it and it'd be like, well, damn, like, it's not that we didn't like the black girls in our high school. I don't want to say black girls, but the African American girls in our high school, mm-hmm. right? Because we didn't put them with the Haitian, the Jamaican. We didn't put them with the African, the Ghanaian. We didn't put them with them, right? So the American,
call them Black American,
huh?
Black American,
yeah, Black American, right? I guess, right?
ADOS, yeah,
ADOS, yeah. Those women had their heroes. Unfortunately, wasn't somebody that we actually respected in the light at the.
Who were their heroes? Yeah, who were their heroes?
Well, I mean, back then, and she did a great job reforming, but Rihanna was the biggest hoe to start off, right? What? Rihanna was the biggest hoe to start off. We did not want the Rihanna syndrome was real. That's how you, and she did a great job. She still got bitches dressing naked, right? She was the first one that we saw coming out to be nude, right?
Rihanna was nude?
What?
When was she nude?
I don't remember.
She was the one wearing the see-through shits. Like, and now we see it, all of it. Like, that Rihanna syndrome was big.
A hoe?
Yes.
Yeah, but these fashions recycle themselves. This was happening in the 80s too.
Yeah, I mean, Cher was naked. Madonna was naked.
But my group of the people that I was growing up with, we didn't exist then. So even if it did recycle itself, we didn't want to see that with our culture, especially at that age, 16, 17, 18, well, 14 to 18, if we talk about high school. So, you know, some of the behaviors that we saw, we didn't want that. We didn't want to see that. We weren't attracted to that, I should say. And it was unfortunate that was their heroes and that's what they emulated. Not every single one of them, but majority. I mean, now you've seen it spill over across a bunch of different ethnic groups, right? But back then, and I'm assuming that's the only way I can relate to what he's saying too.
Right. But here's the question I have, right? So you're saying their heroes was Rihanna. She was over-sexualized. I guess that's what you're saying, that she was influencing women to dress.
As an entertainer.
Yeah. Right. She's
one of many.
Okay, so that's dressing. But what are the traits, the problem where you're like, oh, this is a Black American woman. I don't want to date her because of that. It can't be because of that. Just that alone.
It's Caribbean.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, she was the only one that they had, right, to look up to. Well, I mean, they weren't dressing like Beyonce. Beyonce was always the one that no one could be, right? Like, women could never be, they wouldn't even, well, maybe nowadays, but back then. Why
wouldn't they emulate Beyonce?
Because Beyonce was always the one that was the perfect one. Like, and it was too hard to be perfect. So, you know, they more so said, that is what we can never be, but that is something that we strive to be, but we don't actually practice to be. You know, it's like the untouchable. So, but it was easy to be the Rihannas. You know what I'm saying? It was easier to do that. And to be Beyonce in that time frame or have that mindset, it requires a tremendous amount of just self-discipline and self-worth, which is easier to get what you want when you don't have that self-worth.
Are we still talking about high school?
You know, can I just say?
I'm just saying, like earlier, like, you know, let's just say, like,
I just feel like we are so much like we're so harsh with our own. Like, it's insane in terms of the grace that we'll give to other races, right? Who will practically do the same thing. They will do the exact same thing. But if we as Black women do it, now you're a whore. Now you're the worst. You're a strumpet. You're a dox. You're
What's a strumpet?
I've actually never heard that word.
Strumpet?
Strumpet.
Oh, it's like
wait a minute.
It's like a loose woman.
I think you know what?
a loose woman, like, does it mean physically loose?
Like it's like a whore.
A
Streetwalker.
Like I
strumpet. I'm about to say that.
a strumpet, yeah.
Strumpet ass.
But
A gutter snipe.
remember when seriously, like it's like why do we judge and like are so harsh to our women and give so much grace to other races?
I think that what needs to be understood, and I can say this from having a multicultural family group, every one of these niggas is harsh on their culture, okay? The white people are the Italians are harsh on their Italians.
Okay.
Don't get it fucked up. The Dominicans are harsh on the fucking Dominicans. Don't get it fucked up. So when we're harsh on our culture as well, we're doing the same thing every single ethnic background is doing. We just don't want to do it.
I actually disagree, because think about how many times like a white kid gets in trouble versus when a black kid gets in trouble. What's it called when they make you more like a childify, or it's some word, sociology word, and then they adultify the black child.
Oh, always.
I get what you're saying.
And it's always, Johnny or no, Biff. Biff was a great kid, and you know he was just being a boy and blah blah blah. But let Rayshawn mess up.
He's a grown man.
17. And the same parents who were saying that their kid was just being a young boy and they mess up or whatever, they're not going to have that same perspective when it comes to Rayshawn.
No.
Well,
so they definitely don't treat, you know, they're definitely going to be harsher on us or somebody that's not their own.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking about from the inside, speaking and judging the inside. I'm not talking about the outside perspectives, right?
I don't see, like, yes, they may be hard for you to get better, but I don't see an Irish or an Italian or they don't get on the soapbox to tell you as an Irish woman or an Italian woman how you're the worst and this is why I don't want you.
What if they do? And
they don't.
We just don't see it.
No,
because we're not
I'm on their pages.
We see it because unless you live in a skewed corner where you only are exposed to just blackness, then maybe you don't know. But if you are exposed to the world, because it is a very big world, it doesn't happen. It's not a thing that we don't see it. It's not they just don't do it. Yes, you're right. They may be critical of their women, but they're not getting on this soapbox. Like black men are so quick to get on a soapbox and tell every reason why you hate black women.
It's because you have to think majority. I would argue a lot of their success, and when I say they, I mean the other groups.
Yeah,
do not come by the way of selling out and losing your ethics, your moral ethics, and just, you know, your moral compass. It doesn't come by way of that. So there might be a lot of white doctors, and obviously there's other variables that play into that. But there's, for example, if I was Middle Eastern, which I do know at one point in time, Kim Kardashian was a disgrace to the Armenian race and to the Middle Eastern culture, right? Because of how she came up.
Okay.
Right? Now, there's very few Kim Kardashians that, you know, have that amount of success doing something like that in the comparisons to the totality of the women or the men of that cultural group. For us, it seems as if we get so quick to do everything else, but to do everything else for success, but something progressive, right?
What is it?
Yeah. So like, we'll go ahead and we can't wait to endorse a sexy red. And we can't wait to say, well, at least she's getting money, right? We can't wait to do those different things. And literally what it does is it's harming our community, right? And same thing with black people. It's not with BMF. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the men is the same. We're the quickest to lose our moral compass for our community and just for a taste of money.
Right.
Which is why we get so loud about it, because what they're doing is typically either not in the forefront of everything, so they don't have to address it to the public.
Have you considered that that's a symptom